All right, guys. Hey, just finished the makeover last night. We had a weight loss makeover, and we had over 175 people there, and just massive results are going to occur because of this. I don't want the only people that get that information to be the people that just showed up. And so, Nancy B, this is for you. I know you were feeling so hot yesterday, couldn't make it, and so I just want to wrap up what we're doing and what the plan is. Listen, go to TennesseeMakeover.com. We've made a Facebook page that's got all the files, the weight loss challenge, the warrior challenge that I talked about last night. Everything. There's an accountability group going to be on there. So go to TennesseeMakeover.com. And that's a Facebook page. Well, if we didn't invite you, then ask to join, and you'll get in as long as we like you. We talked about obesity last night, and the reason that we talked about obesity is because this is the burden of the United States. This is the only country that really has this kind of problem at this depth. And so, listen to these stats. One in 3 kids is overweight or obese. 2 in 3 adults is overweight. There's a 258% increase in childhood obesity since 1974. The United States by far has the highest obesity rate, and then the cost of obesity. This is crazy. The cost of obesity, $147 billion every single year. And so the basics of what I went through last night were that we have commitment issues. Number one is that there's so many people out there that we just simply do not commit. We want the easy fix, the quick fix. We want to count the calories and count the points, and really that's just a poor way to do this whole thing. And so I talked about a lady named Marla who had came into the clinic, and she crashed and burned twice just while she was going through the program here. And so, but you know what? The third time she got off of all her medications, she was 7 medications. She was ready to die. And just simply because we were there for her. We wanted to walk her through this thing. And so even if you quit today, you can always get back up. And so never give up. Everything's impossible. Never give up. The next thing is misinformation. There's so much information out there nowadays. Which one do you believe? And so what we said is that you just want the basics. And so the basics of nutrition are watching your sugar, making sure that your fats are really clean and good, and in your meat. And then we have a challenge that goes along with that, and there's a warrior challenge as well. I wanted to talk about, there was a quote that I shared last night. I'm going to move this. There was a quote that I shared last night that was this: but in life, it's the simple things done consistently over time that differentiates champions from amateurs and world changers from the mediocre, and even patients who get amazing results from those who don't. And so it's really about your commitment, but doing it over and over and over again. One of the things I know that you get frustrated with is that you've tried that once, you tried it twice. I've been running this way. I've been trying to exercise, Dr. Jake. I get that all the time, but I'm just not losing weight. And so I just want to encourage you today, keep it up. We talked about hormones, and that after you do a workout, that you don't want to sabotage your hormones with a sugary drink or like a Gatorade or something like that. If you're not losing weight, it's because you're not playing with your hormones correctly. Weight loss is simply about hormones. What you feed your body directly affects fat burning, fat storing, muscle building, muscle wasting. And so the hormones that we talked about last night were cortisol, progesterone, estrogen. We talked about insulin and leptin and ghrelin. And so we'll go over those. A couple things too. If you're a patient of ours and you didn't get the email, once again, go to TennesseeMakeover.com. But all the people that went to the makeover last night, they should have that information. Cortisol. We talked about how cortisol breaks down muscle. It stimulates fat. It raises blood pressure. It can cause water retention. So if you are having blood pressure issues, that could be part of your stress complex, your stress pathway, which is your body's actually retaining water because of your stress. The next hormone that we talked about and how to get that thing pumped up is through high intensity interval training. Remember when you were in high school and you ran suicides, and then your buddy ran his suicide, and then as soon as he was back, that you ran yours? That's what we're talking about. That kind of exercise. Remember how good your weight was If you were an athlete in high school, remember how fit you were in high school? That's why, because you were doing that type of exercise. You were changing your hormones, though. Please get this. Today it's not about just weight loss or just sugar. You have to affect your hormones. We are bombarded with chemicals every single day, and so you got to know how do you affect your body and your physiology. And so not just that, weight loss, of course, when you're dealing with hormones, but fertility issues, early menopause, cancers, those could all be affected by sugar, but also your hormones and the effect that sugar has on your hormones. Now, we talked about another hormone last night. It's called leptin. I'm going to read this to you. And so leptin is called the satisfaction hormone. It's a hormone made by fat cells that help you regulate energy balance by inhibiting your sugar. Now, leptin is opposed by another hormone called ghrelin, and ghrelin is called your hunger hormone. And so both of these basically tell you that you're hungry or tell you that you're full, but they're really regulated by another hormone. It's called insulin, and insulin is your fat storage hormone. When you have too much sugar, your insulin is going to drive fat storage, and so that your body, because that's how your body works, right? If I eat donuts all day, that's way too much energy for my body, and so what happens? That sugar turns into fat, and so you got that right. And so make sure that you're putting the good things in your body. But we're working with insulin. The only way to get insulin down is to bring your sugar down. And the only way to get insulin to bring leptin and ghrelin down is, once again, bringing your sugar down. And so it's not really about eating sugar, though, guys. It's about having an impact on your hormones. We talked about that we just don't. It's not just bad information that we have. We have horrible information in the United States. And one of the big things is, oh, I love you, Jared, man. I'm so glad you're watching this. And so I miss you, man. Why obesity is stubbornly high in the United States is that 14% of the stuff that we buy at the grocery store is fruits and vegetables, but 23% of the stuff that we buy at the grocery store, it's sweets and candies and processed foods. And so if you're eating bad stuff, if you're putting junk into your body, of course your results for your health are going to be junky. We talked about shopping in the horseshoe at the store and making sure that you're hitting the produce aisle. You're going straight back to where the meat is. If you're getting dairy or whatever, eggs or whatever, but staying out of the processed food, staying out of the middle sections at the restaurant. We talked about looking for minimal ingredients. The less is better. Looking for natural ingredients. You want to, if you can't say it, don't eat it. If you can't read it, don't eat it. Try to buy more foods without labels. That would mean eating fruits and vegetables. Checking every single label in your buggy, or also known as a shopping cart in Arizona if you're from there. And so making sure that you are having good quality ingredients going into your buggy. If it's not, then that man, look, pull that off. It's not good. Put it right back. That's how that works. That's called decision making 101. Your life and your health is dependent in the moments that you make, and so or the moments that you make decisions. And so you can change your life. Like make a decision today. I'm quitting that today. Isn't that awesome? And so you can do that. Put items right back on the shelf that are man-made, just like I said. We're wrapping up. If you just started watching, we're wrapping up the makeover. We had a couple people that just absolutely couldn't come, and so we wanted to share with them today. We talked about how alarming nugget information. So your chicken nuggets that you even get at the store or you get at the restaurant, they have chemicals on them. One of those chemicals is called dimethylpolysiloxane. Dimethylpolysiloxane is a carcinogen, but it's also an anti-foaming agent. So when those fast food places, they put chicken nuggets into the fryer, there's so many chemicals on those chicken nuggets that they foam, and they would pour over into the floor. And so they put this chemical on it as an anti-foaming agent, man. Insane. Hey, Nancy, go back and watch the beginning of this. I talked about hormones. We talked about how when you have a package at the store, if it's got American Heart Association, or you've got some kind of endorsement from some society, that association, that society, they paid for that. It's $7,500 to get their advertising on that box of Kellogg's mini wheats or whatever they're called, and so they pay $7,500 every year. They pay an additional $4,500 to renew that. And so listen, the American Heart Association pays that. That's an advertisement. That they're not really saying that you should eat Cheerios. All they're saying is that they want their name and their association on that box, guys. That's sickening. That's the world that we live in, though. It's all about money. Your health is about how much money that doctors can make, and how much money that pharmaceuticals can make. Not that doctors are bad people. I think all doctors have really good intentions, but ultimately, man, that is just not your solution. We talked about how the colors in the food, and so you write these down. If you're writing these down, sodium nitrites and hydrogenated oils, you don't want to be putting those in your body. They're going to cause your body to become toxic, and then you're going to have some serious issues, even like autoimmune conditions and those kind of things, like serious problems. High fructose corn syrup is just another way to say sugar. Excitotoxins, the blue and pink packets. This is like basic nutrition 101, friends. The blue and pink packets are neuroexcitotoxins. You don't want to be using those. We shared a story about a lady named Jamie. Jamie has been a patient of mine since October 2015, and so she came to me with Meniere's disease. It was a chronic problem, but also during the time that she decided that her and her husband wanted to lose weight, and so they lost 81 pounds. Booyah, 81 pounds. And so if she can lose weight, you can lose weight too. And so personally for me, when I started this journey, I was 45 pounds overweight, and so I've lost weight. There's many people today in the clinic that lost weight. By the way, 5,000 or 12,000 pounds that Victory has lost in the last 5 years as a collectively as a clinic. There's not a lot of clinics in the world that can say something like that. That are simply wellness clinic or a chiropractic clinic. So thank you for our patients that whether you're still a patient or maybe it was just a part of your life and a season in your life that 12,000 pounds is a big number, guys, and that means that there's a lot of healthier people out there. And so Jamie lost 81 pounds. We talked about another lady who had lost 25 pounds. We talked about how the weight loss challenge works every single time. The weight loss challenge works every single time because it's based on hormones. Remember that it's not based on calories or based on counting points at Weight Watchers. It's based on really putting the good stuff into your body. And so go to TennesseeMakeover.com. That's our Facebook link, our group page, and sign up. And then what you'll do is that you'll download all the files. There's a challenge in there. It's a 30-day challenge, and then there's a warrior challenge. And so I'm going to go ahead and share the warrior challenge with you, because if you've been with me for more than a year, number one, you're a warrior patient, but also it's probably time to step your game up a little bit. And so what we challenged our warrior patients to do for the next 21 days was a 12 to 14 hour daily fast. That's intermittent fasting. So for 12 hours during the day, you won't put anything in your body, but for 12 hours during the day, you will. We recommended that you work out on an empty stomach in the morning. Taking B supplements, because that's called the fat burning supplement. Drinking more than your 50% of your body weight in ounces of water, and then this is especially for Chris Bergman out there, a cold shower or an ice bath for 5 minutes daily. I'm going to share with you the physiology behind that, but we are seeing crazy results with people that are doing like cold baths and cold showers, because it creates thermogenesis in the body. And then max T3 workout or some kind of workout, high intensity, short duration. Last night we did this for 20 seconds, and so I'll challenge you right now. Do this for 10 seconds. I'll count as fast as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, ice bath. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is your hand worn out? If you did that for 10 seconds as fast as you can and your hand's tired, then that's silly, number one. But number two, that's the kind of workouts that you need to do. You need to go hard. Hey, Kelly, welcome, Kelly. And so you need to go hard. So it's called the Warrior Challenge. This is for Stephen Northup as well, since Kelly's on. Ice bath or cold shower below 55 degrees daily to create thermogenesis and burn that nasty, bad fat off of you. We talked about how scary it is to get on the scale and that you can actually cry because of getting on the scale. And so we're not measuring weight really right now. We're measuring our BMI. And so 5-minute baths of thermogenesis. And so I'll talk about that in a second. So I want you to stop thinking about your weight though in pounds, and I really want you to start thinking about it as body mass composition, like your BMI. I want you to really understand that it's not about, it's because I've got a lot of muscle, and Dr. Josh is a pretty strong guy. I mean, he's all muscle, so he weighs more than a guy his size. That's actually overweight, and so because muscle weighs more than fat, right? And so, but we want to talk about that. Don't just get on the scale and let that be the bare minimum, the line of what you're doing. You want to have a true knowledge of what your body mass fat index is. And so we bought a scale at Victory, and it's got this little hand bar on it, and it measures body fat. It'll tell you your visceral fat. It'll tell you how much like total body fat that you are. So I remember in high school we were trying to get to about an 8% body fat for wrestling. I know that they even put like stops on that because there was guys that were getting too skinny. And so your BMI. And so listen to how important your BMI number is. That's on the first page of the challenge. That's on the Facebook group, TennesseeMakeover.com. Go to the Facebook group and join. But above a 30 BMI increases your risk of dying by coronary heart disease, artery disease by 3 times. You're 2 times more likely to get colon cancer, and you're 3 times more likely to get endometrial cancer. Yeah, you do. You do want to know your BMI. You just don't want to know your weight because that's scary. But you do want to know your BMI. It will make you cry less than what the weight will. The basics never change. So as always, your basic nutrition. I didn't go over this in depth last night because I thought that I felt like most of the people there were patients that have learned this stuff before. But for the people that weren't there, a couple things. Breads, pastas, crackers, cookies, and sauces, those are all bad for you. They're all loaded with sugar, cortisol raising foods. Remember, cortisol keeps the fat on. And so you want to eat fruit, but only berries. And so berries, lemons, limes, you want to stay off the fruit juice if you have kids that are doing fruit juice. But but Nancy, by the way, the cool thing is that weight thing, it tells you exactly what your body looks like on the inside. And so that's what this 30-day challenge is for. Alcohol, you're trying to get off of alcohol. So alcohol is a sugar. Also, during this time, you want to try to limit your amount of caffeine that you're putting into your body. You want to eat alkalizing foods, broccoli, cauliflower, raw celery, mushrooms, which are rich in antioxidants. You want to be eating raw nuts and seeds, coconut oil, coconut flakes. One of the things that Jess has been doing is she's been throwing coconut oil, coconut flakes into her bulletproof coffee lately, which is really cool, and it smells really good, and it tastes really good. She wouldn't know that I tasted it though. Healthy organic meats, grass-fed beef, wild game, free-range chicken. We talked the difference between a pasture-raised chicken and a cage-free chicken. And so a cage-free chicken can be in one of those big farm, I don't know what you call it, a warehouse. Pasture-raised they're literally like out in the pasture. We talked about protein. I asked everybody in the crowd who uses protein, and the majority of people raised their hand. And I just said, if you're buying cheaper protein, then it's going to lead to intestinal discomfort, probably some gassy issues. You want to consume quality protein immediately after your workout. Immediately right after. Get it done on my workout, and I'm chugging high quality protein. But don't do too much protein, because protein can be really hard on your kidneys. And so an unused, overdone or too much protein, it will be underused and it will be turned into sugar inside of your body. Talked about that you can eat right and exercise perfectly, but a lot of weight loss issues come from toxicity. And so one of the things that you got to stop doing is you got to stop putting toxins into your body. So we talked about, for females specifically, that's a good question. It's 15 to 20 grams for a female. Actually, I'll get that number for you, Nancy. We'll put that on the Facebook page. There was a new recommendation that we were going by, and I haven't committed that to memory, but I will absolutely get that for you. But we're talking about back to toxins. And so cookware, you want your non-Teflon cookware, stainless steel, cast iron is what you want to be cooking in, enamel coated, ceramic coated. You want to not be using containers for your food that are made out of plastic, so you want to be using glass or stainless steel. Medications, guys. Listen, I know that you've been taking that medication for the last 10 years or the last 15 years, and you haven't had a side effect yet. But your time's coming. And so make sure that you're trying to decrease your medications throughout your life. I asked this question last night. Who in here that's going to the doctor for their blood pressure has sat down with their doctor on a plan on how to get off of the blood pressure medication? Raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand, because there's not a plan. There's not a plan to get off your medication. That medication, the plan is to be on the medication for the rest of your life. And so that's crazy. I thought this was a really good example last night. Was toxins are kind of like inmates. And so the more guards that you have, or the more inmates that you have, the more guards that you have. And so imagine that guards are fat and the inmates are toxins. And so as the inmates begin to come into the prison, we need more and more workers or guards to protect all of those inmates and to keep those guys in. But the thing is that my overhead is high. This is wearing and taxing on my business and on the community, on our tax dollars. And so I need to get rid of some of these guards. How do I get rid of the guards? Get rid of some of the inmates, right? And so how do you get rid of fat? You got to get rid of the toxins. And so we talked about B vitamins, that B vitamins help to decrease your cortisol levels. If you've had emotional stress in your life, then you're going to be increased in or decreased in B vitamins. So you may need B vitamins. If you are taking B vitamins today, you want them to be taken with a fat. We said there was a study in the 2015 World Journal of Diabetes that said obesity depletes B vitamins. So when you are overweight, you're decreasing the amount of B vitamins that you have in your body. That B vitamins are critical for mental clarity, focus, and energy. That 15 to 29% of weight loss surgery candidates are deficient in B vitamins. And so if you're facing surgery today, a good thing to do would be to start taking B vitamins. We talked about the power smoothie. The power smoothie is 2 cups of kale, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, 1 tablespoon of flaxseed, chia seed, or hemp seeds, 2 cups of almond milk or coconut milk, 1 scoop of grass-fed or plant protein, a good quality protein, 1 scoop of the max greens that we have in the clinic, and a cup of blueberries. Add water. And I made a smoothie at the makeover last night. Now here's what was in my smoothie. It was coconut milk, protein, greens powder, and blueberries and stevia. And I made breakfast yesterday at makeover in 1 minute and 21 seconds. So there's no excuses on time, guys, if you can't put good stuff in your body. We announced that we're doing a Holy Hormones class and a nutrition class on Monday. That's 2 days from now at 6:30 at Victory. We talked about amalgam fillings, and there's a video that I wish you could see it. Is that legal on Facebook Live to play a video on my video? Anybody? I don't want them to take this post down. I'm going to skip it. We said that most countries nowadays have bans or have significant restrictions on amalgam fillings, but in the United States that we don't. And so we talked about amalgam fillings being so toxic, and that may be one of the reasons that you're having a hard time losing weight. We talked about the good and the bad plastics. If you are going to be eating plastic, or not eating plastic, if you're going to be eating things out of plastic or drinking out of plastic bottles, then you're looking for 1, 2, 4, and 5. So just skip 3, and all the rest are bad. So 3, 6, and 7 are bad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. Those are your good ones, and the bad ones are 3 and the rest of them. We talked about that there's estimated that 1 in 7 children today is exposed to mold because of the morphologies, the HVACs, and modern construction nowadays in schools. And so you want to be making sure that your kids are doing some kind of detox. We talked about the major problems with water is that there's chlorine, and so the chlorine robs your body of the good probiotics and the good bacteria that's in your gut. And then fluoride, and fluoride is extremely neurotoxic, and it can cause some bone damage. It can cause actually tooth decay. Yeah, fluoride causes tooth decay. You've been suckered. Victory workshops. We're doing a workshop in March. It's going to be on detox. 7th generation products are good places to get your clean resources. And then if you get the Think Dirty app, that's a good place to search for what you're using at home anyways. Talked about really the hidden secret to all this thing is the way that your body works is that your brain controls everything, and that for your organs to digest food, for your intestines to digest food, for your thyroid to work properly, you at least barely need to get your nervous system checked, and making sure that you're getting corrective care, chiropractic from somewhere, making sure that your body is connected to your brain and your brain is connected to your body, that there's a normal connection in there. I ask everybody to write this statement down, and so I'll ask you to write this down today. Lifestyle supports function. It doesn't control function. Lifestyle supports function, but it doesn't control function. And so we all know somebody that eats right, exercises right, does everything right, but somehow they're still sick. And we all know somebody, we all got an uncle that smokes and drinks and who knows what that guy does, and eats fast food all the time, but he's healthy. How in the world? The difference is that the way that your body's made, and then that cervical curve was extremely crucial for thyroid function. It said some warning signs that you could have today if you are suffering from nerve problems, numbness and tingling in your hands. If you're suffering from any kind of skin problems like eczema, high blood pressure, headaches and ear infections, frequent colds if you're getting sick a lot of times, not the flu that dropped you, because that's going to happen sometimes. But if you're frequently getting sick and over again, running back and forth and getting medications and that kind of stuff, that could be a reason that you have nerve pressure. Constipation, diarrhea. One of the things that we do really good at Victory is depression, anxiety. I don't know if it's because more of the nervous system part of it, or simply because we do a really good job on helping people like figure out who they are and what their mindset should be with going through life. And so attention problems, focus problems with kids, that could be pressure on your nerves. And so I really shared this, and so I want to share this with you today. Is really the purpose of why we even teach workshops and makeovers is that, man, my heart, I tear up sometimes when I think about this. Is that, like, man, I don't want anybody to ever live with a regret. Like, I don't want anybody to ever come into the office or come to a workshop and go, man, I want that desperately, but I can't have that, or I can't afford that, or I don't have time for that. those are just really like crummy excuses for your health. And so make sure that you're making time and putting the money into your health, and not living with regret. You don't want to get to be 65 years old and go messed up, man. And so we talked about chiropractic. Hey, if you're a patient of ours, share these stats with some people. Studied chiropractic patients who receive maintenance care for the last 5 years. Chiropractic patients spend 31% than on the national average for healthcare. Chiropractic patients have 50% less medical provider visits. Their health habits are radically changed. This is a study, not my opinion. Chiropractic patients go to the hospital 60% less. 60. Not 16, 60% less than people that don't go to the chiropractor. The people that do go to the hospital, they are hospitalized 59% less days when they do go to the chiropractor. And then chiropractic patients take 85% less pharmaceuticals than non-chiropractic patients. And so you see where your value lies a lot of times when you start seeing that. I did a Q&A, and so I know this is a long video, but I'm going to share with you. So I think I'm going to do it. So what supplements do I take during the Q&A? I take a men's multi, a vitamin D, and a fish oil every day. And if we're doing smoothies, we do protein, and we do a greens powder, and that is it for me. That's all I take. Now I've done metabolics, and I've had all the testing, and I've done my gut protocol, and I've done my detox. I was very toxic when I got my test back, so I went through a detox. How do I know I have insulin resistance? You get tested. How do I quit sugar? You just quit. You pray that God give you strength to get over your addiction, and you come to a place like Victory where you see people doing it over and over again. But sugar is highly addictive, and so we pray for you. Good luck to you. What's the best type of exercise? High intensity burst training. Dr. Axe has a good burst fit program, so you can do that, max T3. But any kind of high intensity, short duration workouts. What supplements do kids need? A multivitamin at minimum. We have a detox powder, but we do protein smoothies, and we do, the same smoothie that I make, and for me is the same smoothie that my kids drink. Why do cholesterol meds hurt? This was a confusing question because I didn't understand the question, but I think I got it. Was why do cholesterol medications end up hurting your legs? And that's because they chew the muscles up. The reason that the muscles die in your legs when you're taking cholesterol medications is because it robs your body of a critical nutrient that you need, is CoQ10. And so if you're taking a statin today, you need to take CoQ10 as well. Alternatives to antibiotics: oregano oil and silver psyllium, and then garlic. We talked about a nun, shared a story about a nun who does triathlons, and so she's 70 years old doing triathlons. If a nun can do triathlons at 79 years old, then certainly you at 40 years old or 50 years old can do something. Maybe not a triathlon, but there's something that you could do. Garlic, woo, garlic, and garlic and silver, and you do the oregano. If you, you know what we should do in this Facebook group that we're about to start is share some of our home recipes. I would love to do that. You know, that I think that and that's part of in the future of Victory, and the way that our community is going is they'll start sharing some of this information on these private pages. And so I'd like to sit down actually with some ladies like Nancy and Kelly and just kind of get your opinion on that. Talked about determining your priorities. What is important in your life? Is your family really important? Is your fitness, your health, your financial development, your personal development, is that important? If it is, then probably want to spend time with it. And so make sure that you're plugging into the wheel of life. And so we try to even out as much as we can. We try to spend time with our wife. We try to spend time with our kids. We try to spend time with my staff, because those people are so important to my life. And so I pour into my staff, in an attempt to make them the best people that they can be. And so what about the people that you work with? Are you pouring into those people? I'm going to read something to you. It's more congruent to the natural order of life. Our Paleolithic ancestors didn't eat 3 squares a day. They ate when they caught food or found food, which sometimes was days in between. So by constantly snacking or eating, by allowing your body to become really hungry, minimizes your potential of your digestive system and metabolism. And so I thought that was pretty crucial information. There you go. We're going to start rocking that out. At all the time, and so we want to share that stuff on this Facebook page. Okay, this is it. This is the big one that we talked about last night. Cold thermogenesis. That is you starting with a 5-minute cold shower followed by a warm one once a day. Then work your way into like a cold lake or an ice bath. Preferably, the temperature should be 55 degrees below for max benefit. Here's what this does. It burns your brown adipose tissue. Your brown adipose tissue generates heat by burning white adipose tissue found on your stomach, butt, hips, and legs. Normally, you need to exercise or fast for a while to activate fat burning for energy, but by doing cold thermogenesis, it's significantly more powerful when it starts to activating brown adipose tissue and to burn white adipose tissue. That's cool. So here's what taking a cold shower every day does for you. Decreases your white adipose tissue, your cellulite, lowers your blood sugar. That's good for you guys. And so improves your thyroid function, reduces inflammation, balances your hormones, improves sleep quality, improves adrenal function, improves sexual performance and fertility. Yes, that's awesome. And so no, but you could do that's funny. You could do just a cold bath. Just do cold water bath. So ice packs, I guess that's it. I'm gonna write that down. I don't know that. I don't actually know the answer. If I packed cold packs all around my body every day, would I create thermogenesis? I don't know. Let's see. You will know. That's funny. So for right now, ice bath. We said that you can't measure, you can't manage what you don't measure, and so you really need to do like a hydration app to know how much water that you're drinking every single day. Shoot for at least 50% of your body weight every single day. When to eat, what to eat. This is something I was very excited to bring to you over the last couple weeks, as I've been studying what are the best foods to eat at what times of the day. And so write these down. Ladies, you'll be happy with this. Dark chocolate is a great food to eat in the morning. Dark chocolate is a great food to eat in the morning. Dark chocolate reduces insulin resistance as well. Ginger in the morning will help you feel full and has been shown to help with weight loss. That's not ginger ale, but ginger. And a half an ounce to an ounce of apple cider vinegar in the morning. Those are helping you burn fat. And in the PM, chia seeds are a good fat, but they have tons of protein, and so that's really good to help you be satisfied at night. Greek yogurt, something that I learned, it was thermogenic. So just what we were talking about a few minutes ago with the ice bath, burning fat, Greek yogurt does that too. And then butternut squash at night. That's a great way to get healthy sugar levels. And then also, did you know that butternut squash helps you to support your normal weight? And that's about it. That's a really, really quick wrap up. I didn't cover everything, but I tried to cover the basics of what we tried to learn. Just going to go through one more time. Oh, intermittent fasting. The reason that you do that is because it increases your sensitivity to insulin, and so your body's going to be is going to use your sugar a lot better, and then it increases growth hormone, and growth hormone helps you burn fat. Growth hormone is also an anti-aging supplement, or I guess a legal steroid that some people take out there. If you got any questions about what we do, who we are, go to victoryhealthcenter.com. If you want to be a part of the challenge, go to TennesseeMakeover.com. and ask to be invited or join or however that works. Jessica and Rachel, you guys know how to do that. Much love for you. If you have a friend or family member in your life, one of the things that I believe that God is calling me to do is to ask you those questions right now. And the most uncomfortable things to do is to ask people for help for me. But I need help helping people. And so if you know somebody that needs help, you got a friend or family member out there, I don't even care if I got to go to Starbucks and meet them. I'll do whatever. But God's really putting on my heart right now that I got to go. I've got to do stuff. That time is short. And so help me help other people. Love you guys. Have a great one.